Hey there, welcome to Biogram, your number one stop for mind-blowing biographies. I'm Dr. Ken, your favorite storyteller. Smash that subscribe button, like this video, and share it with everyone, including your nosy neighbor. Alright, let's dive into the wild, crazy ride that is Apocalypto. This 2006 movie by Mel Gibson is not just any action flick, it's one of the most intense films ever made, and here's why. The story follows Jaguar Paw, played by Rudy Youngblood. He's a young hunter in a peaceful Mayan village that gets completely destroyed by invaders. Instead of curling up in fear, which would be totally understandable, Jaguar Paw does what any hero would do. He fights back. After his village is attacked and people are taken for sacrifice, Jaguar Paw manages to escape and ends up running for his life through the jungle. And let me tell you, this chase scene is one of the best in movie history. It's non-stop action, and you'll be on the edge of your seat the whole time. The crazy part? There are no famous actors in this movie. It's all unknowns. And that actually makes it feel even more real. You don't recognize anyone, so you're not thinking, oh, that's Tom Cruise with a spear. Instead, you just get fully immersed in Jaguar Paw's story, which makes the whole experience even more intense. Now let's talk about Rudy Youngblood, our man Jaguar Paw. Rudy grew up in Belton, Texas, and he wasn't exactly living the high life. His mom raised him and his two sisters, and at just 10 years old, he was already working hard in construction. Talk about starting young. But even though life wasn't easy, Rudy didn't follow the usual route. Instead of taking the scholarship to college, he chose to learn traditional Native American dance. Who would have guessed that dance would eventually lead him to Apocalypto? But that's exactly what happened. Rudy got the part of Jaguar Paw, and that role changed his life forever. Rudy had to do a lot of physical training for Apocalypto. I mean, he's literally running for his life through the jungle in most of the movie, but he nailed it. He made Jaguar Paw a symbol of survival, determination, and courage. After Apocalypto, he appeared in a few other films, like Beatdown, 2010, and Windwalkers, 2015, but let's face it, nothing will top him being Jaguar Paw. Now, Apocalypto isn't just a film about running from danger, it also made people talk. Some historians didn't love how it portrayed the Mayan civilization. They felt it was too brutal and didn't show enough of the culture. But, let's be real, when you're watching people sprint through jungles, dodge arrows, and have their hearts ripped out, yes, that really happens, you're probably not focused on the historical accuracy. You're just trying to keep up with the action. One cool thing about the film is that it doesn't rely on a ton of dialogue. Most of the story is told through body language and expressions. That's why you feel so connected to the characters. You don't need to hear a long speech to understand how Jaguar Paw feels. You can see it in his eyes, in his movement, and in his struggle. And let's not forget the ending. As Jaguar Paw escapes, he sees Spanish ships coming, signaling the beginning of the end for his people. It's a powerful reminder of how everything changes when a civilization falls. But even with all that destruction, Apocalypto is also a celebration of human strength and survival. Jaguar Paw's story shows us that no matter what happens, the human spirit can survive. Even though some people didn't agree with the movie's take on history, Apocalypto got a lot of praise for its technical achievements. It earned several Academy Award nominations, including Best Makeup and Best Sound Editing. And let's not forget, those jungle chase scenes wouldn't be nearly as intense without the amazing sound effects. In the end, Apocalypto is a mix of action, emotion, and a little bit of history. It's a movie about survival, the strength of the human spirit, and the fall of a civilization. And Rudy Youngblood? Well, he'll always be remembered as the guy who ran through the jungle and made us believe we could survive anything. So next time you're feeling lazy, just think, if Jaguar Paw can survive all that, maybe you can get through your day too. The movie begins in a peaceful Mayan village. We meet Jaguar Paw, a young hunter, and his family. He's living a pretty chill life in the jungle with his wife and child. The village is close-knit, and everyone is working together to survive in nature. Jaguar Paw has a great relationship with his family and is teaching his son the ways of their people. Life seems good for now. Everything changes when a group of raiders, led by a brutal warrior named Zero Wolf, attacks the village. These invaders are from a more powerful tribe, and they're looking to capture people for sacrifice to their gods. In a violent and fast-paced raid, the village is destroyed, homes are set on fire, and many villagers, including Jaguar Paw's family, are captured. The attackers show no mercy, and it's a shocking, brutal scene. After being captured, Jaguar Paw and other villagers are taken to a large city where the raiders are preparing for human sacrifices. The Mayan priest explains that these sacrifices are necessary to appease their gods, and the scene is full of fear and tension. People are chosen and led to a massive stone altar where they are killed in a ceremonial fashion with their hearts ripped out. It's as brutal as it sounds. Jaguar Paw, like many of the captives, is marked for sacrifice, but just as he's about to be killed, he manages to break free. The film then transitions into what can only be described as an epic chase sequence. Jaguar Paw, now covered in blood and running for his life, flees into the jungle, where he uses his survival skills to evade his much larger and stronger pursuers. What follows is one of the most heart-pounding foot chases ever filmed. Jaguar Paw is constantly on the run, using his knowledge of the jungle to set traps and outsmart his enemies. There's a lot of action here. Think running, climbing, jumping, and narrowly escaping death multiple times. The action is relentless and the stakes feel high because we know Jaguar Paw has so much to lose. As Jaguar Paw runs deeper into the jungle, he encounters more dangers. His pursuers, led by Zero Wolf, are closing in. At one point, they get into a dangerous battle with jaguars, snakes, and other deadly animals, making the jungle a treacherous place for everyone. Jaguar Paw's connection with the jungle and his survival skills are tested to the limit. This part of the film is intense, as the hunters struggle not only against Jaguar Paw, but also against the forces of nature itself. Jaguar Paw, during his escape, manages to hide his family in a cave, ensuring they remain safe while he fights for his survival. After a series of intense events, including almost drowning and narrowly escaping an ambush, Jaguar Paw uses the jungle to his advantage and outwits his pursuers. At one point, he even uses his knowledge of traps to injure his captors, turning the tables. The final confrontation occurs when Jaguar Paw faces off against Zero Wolf and his warriors. It's a tense, one-on-one battle where Jaguar Paw's survival instincts and bravery are on full display. In a twist of fate, the roles are reversed, and Jaguar Paw emerges victorious. As Jaguar Paw escapes the jungle, covered in mud, blood, and sweat, he stumbles upon a scene that foreshadows the end of the Mayan civilization, Spanish ships arriving on the horizon. The film ends with a haunting reminder that a new force is about to reshape the world forever.